Hello, record nerds of the internet. Today we're going to talk about a record label that I thought was pretty awesome, Bacteria Sour. That is until something not awesome happened, and we'll discuss that. Coming up next.
Six in the morning.
Okay, so if we're going to talk about Bacteria Sour, we should probably talk about not necessarily Exit Condition, but the label that Exit Condition came out of, which was Pusmart. Pusmart was a record label started by Pushead, the artist and Thrasher magazine contributor that I loved when I first bought my first Thrasher magazine back in 1987. Pushead was doing a column, and that magazine was just filled with Pushead art at that time, and I loved it. It was great. And so at that time he was doing this label, Pusmart, but I was a little young to buy these records. I would buy them later in life, but this is the only 7-inch that I have by them. They put out like some Septic Death 7 inches and some other 7 inches. They mostly did 12 inches and like LPs. I used to have a bunch of those, and I think I've sold all but one of them. And that's all related. So then after he did this label, there was a period of time where he didn't really put out anything, and then he started a record label called Bacteria Sour. And so this label was pretty cool. It was all like limited edition records of cool bands that had really cool packaging. Like this, has a fold out sleeve. This is actually screen printed, which you can't tell, but it is. And then this is a double 7-inch. So this is a comp that has Roswell Project, Destination, OAC, In My Eyes, Stampede, Devoid of Faith, and Sour, I guess that's a band name. I don't know. And now that I'm looking at this, it has a Septic Death record in it. So that, I don't know what... It's been a long time since I actually looked at these. And so I don't know what the Septic Death record is. It has 3 songs on this side and 3 songs on this one. I don't want to know what's on this record. Hold, please, while I research.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so I've researched. And what this is a 7-inch of bands doing Septic Death covers, and then Septic Death doing covers of other bands. So this has Devoid of Faith covering Septic Death, the song Thaw, Cold World. Integrity doing Change. Septic Death doing I Hate My School, which is a Necros song. A band called Detestation doing I Missing. And then Cavity doing Demon Inside Me. And then Septic Death doing a cover of Glue and Out of Step. Glue being a SSD Control song, Out of Step being a Minor Threat song. So that's why this has Septic Death on it. So that's kind of cool. Now I want to listen to that. So that's one example of the records that they put out. We're going to go through all the ones I still have. And for reasons I will go into, we'll talk about why I don't own a lot of them anymore. So this is probably the most common Bacteria Sour record that you can find. This is a split between Racket from the Crypt and Bloodthirsty Butchers. This one was not limited. I mean, everything's limited, but it wasn't that limited. So it's got like a gatefold sleeve. And it's a double 7-inch. This one's on black vinyl. I don't know if they did this on other colors. But this is the one. This one of all of the Bacteria Sour records, this is the one you could probably find the easiest. It's usually not very expensive. It might be $5 or $10, maybe more. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to. Here's another one, Jawbox. Epcenter Chinese fork tie, 7-inch. This got reissued by, I think, DeSoto/Discord at some point because this was limited. And I guess they wanted to show this packaging. It's pretty sweet. Opens up. It has like lyrics and whatnot. Has a, if you want to know what it is, and I don't know what Asian language that is. I am going to assume Japanese because everything Bacteria Sour skews Japanese. And then it's on this cool orange color vinyl. And then you might be able to see this is like, yeah, as is this. It's like iridescent. Not iridescent, that's not the word. It's shiny for the kids, because kids love shiny. What else do I have? Band called Roswell Project. I don't know who they are, really. These are like stamped and numbered on the back. This is 412 of how many, I don't know. This I think is on gray vinyl. Let's take a look. So it opens up. It has like this, what do you call that? Where you type in and then it prints that out on the sheet below. I don't know what you call that. It's on like this white gray vinyl. This one should be pretty easily found. I had a copy of this that had, the sleeve was like a film, sort of a brown film, and then inside there was a floppy disk, like a 5 1/4. Is that what the size was? Like the big ones that were actually floppy, not the smaller ones. And it had like this printed on it, and supposedly it had something on the floppy disk, but at the time when I had it, probably the time it came out, like those floppy disks were not easy to find. So, or those floppy drives. I didn't have a computer that had that floppy drive on it anymore. So I never knew what was on there, and then I sold it. So now I will never know. Here's another comp, another Bacteria Sour comp. It looks similar to this, but I think it's completely different. I think. Let's find out. We'll find out together in real time. So this is number 76. This is on clear pale yellow vinyl. So this is half of that. Well, so it's an In My Eyes song, Stampede, The Devoid of Faith, Septic Death cover, Cluster Bomb Unit, Roswell Project, Detestation, and OAC. So it's the same but different than the other one? I don't know. That's probably why I still own both of them. And here's another comp. Let's see what's in this one, shall we? Again, this is silk screened. The other one was silk screened too. It opens up, folds like the other ones. It says Drop Dead and Cavity on it. And then, ooh, AFI. And then a band called Union and Mass Control. So here's a list of the things you could have purchased from Bacteria Sour at the time. Somewhere I have this Taste CD. I don't know where it went. Is that in focus? I had that. I don't think I got rid of it. That's easy to find. I had this 16 Curves That Kick CD too. I can't find it. I don't know what happened to my my CDs. I mean, I found my CDs, but they're not in there. So, as a Jawbox Final Conflict 7-inch. They actually did 2 7-inches, and then they did it in like this set of both. I used to have it, and I sold it. And then DeMad, we'll go through that. So you can send them your address and get some information from Pushead. And then here's the track listing. And then another catalog listing. Can you see that? I don't know how interesting that is to anyone. I don't know how interesting any of this is to anyone. All right. So this one's pretty common too. Strain. I think this one has water damage. So it has another vellum outside. Yeah, it's like water damaged here. So this is on whatever color vinyl you would call that. And this one you can find usually in the black vinyl version, relatively cheap. I don't know about the colored vinyl version. As an insert. So this is a record that I showed in my 10 Obscure Records video. This is DeMad. Again, vellum sleeve. Insert. Another insert. It says 150 of Finn, which I don't know how many Finn is. Then this one says 18 of Finn, so I don't know which is correct. And this is on, you know, something you would find on the forest. I'm going to guess this was pressed at Rainbow. This was like a thing that they would do, this sort of ugly, let's take all these colors and jam them together and have horrible sounding vinyl. I'm going to guess that's what that is. All right, and then the final record that we have to talk about is another Bacteria Sour comp. Again, it opens in like that, silk screened. Skeletal insert. So this is OAC, Stampede, No Choice in This Matter, Saigon Terror, and Cocoa Bat. I don't know how I got this one. I think I got this one directly from Pushead, I think. And this is on this sort of yellow marbled vinyl. And so this one includes the reason why I sold most of my Pushead Bacteria Sour stuff is because what this is, a mailer for his fan club. And so what he would do is he would do a fan club where you would join it and he would release limited records, even more limited than most of these, like 300 sort of stuff. So if you can read this, it says, thanks for your interest in the third phase of Pushead Fan Club. So there were 2 phases previous to this. This is once again being created to express a lot of ideas and to do a few projects without going into the mainstream market. Like the 2 previous phases, all items will be kept in a total collectible type situation. These items will not be for sale on the primary retail market, and records will not be made available for review or promotion. All print runs will be made for the membership total. Once an item is sold out, sent to members, it will not be reprinted. Phase Sand will be in 2 parts. Each part has a separate fee. Each part of Phase Sand will feature 3 7-inches with Pushead designed, signed and numbered, Pushead design sleeves signed and numbered, extremely limited. 4 times update sheets sent bi-monthly. 1 Hyperstoic magazine, which showcases the artwork by Pushead and other artists, will also feature original artwork for sale. Bonus items randomly sent out of extremely limited runs and various small runs of 7 inches. You never know what and when you could get lucky and receive something. I'm going to guess you never received anything, because I never received anything. Phase Sand membership fee. Each part is the same price, double the price if you want the complete, both parts 1 and 2, Phase Sand. Complete members will get a bonus prize. A bonus prize, guys! So you send them $40, which I did, and you should get 6 7-inches, 8 update sheets, 2 Hyperstoic magazines, and then potentially random items. So I did that. I sent him $40. You know what I got? You know how many 7 inches I got? I got 0 7 inches. Supposed to get 6. I got 0. Now, you might say, hey man, they might still come. That was 22 years ago. I don't think they're coming. And I know they're not coming. We'll get into that. So like this record I got directly from him. I bought this from him. He would send out a list of, hey, I have these records available for sale. I probably paid $5 for this record, but I paid for it on top of my $40. What I got for my $40? I got 0 7 inches. I think I maybe got 1 or 2 of these update sheets. And then I got 1 Hyperstoic magazine, which I forgot that I even had. I found like a year or 2 ago, and then I threw it up on eBay for $100. So yay for me. And then bonus items, I got some random crap, like Pushead temporary tattoos, and like a zine that had a Pushead interview, and then some Japanese toy magazine that had, that I couldn't read because I don't speak Japanese, nor do I read it. And that's it. That's all I ever got for my $40. The only saving grace is that when I would get the update that said, hey, we have these records for sale, would you like to buy them? I would buy some of them. I bought a Septic Death 3-inch record, I think it was. It was tiny. I wish I would have still kept it, but I sold that for $100. I sold this for $100. Oh, I also got some CD from a band I don't remember, and I was looking for it on Discogs, and I don't see it there. So I don't know which one that was. I don't see it. But it was not important, because guess what? I didn't want a CD. I didn't buy this. I didn't send him $40 for CDs. I sent him $40 so I can get 6 7-inch records. And so I would occasionally send him letters over the years. And I would say, hey, when is this starting up? Because he sent a letter out at some point after I sent him the $40. He's like, hey, this is starting. And that may have been where he's like, hey, here's records that are available to buy that you already put out. And then nothing. And no 7 inches. And a CD, I remember the CD came. I remember the other stuff coming that I've already talked about. And then nothing. And then I would ask him, hey, well, when are we getting records? And he would say, soon. And then I sent him another one, and I said, well, when are we getting records? And he said, it's over. It's over? It hasn't even started. We haven't gotten a single 7-inch yet from Phase Sand. Put out records in Phase 1 and 2. Where are my records? Where are my records? Never got my records. So needless to say, that put a very sour taste in my mouth for Bacteria Sour and Pushead and Pusmart. So I took all the records that were worth money and I sold them because they were no longer awesome to me. They represented me getting ripped off. Now you could say, well, you know, you sold that for $100, so you made your money back, and you sold that CD. I don't know how much I sold it for, probably $20. It wasn't a lot of money. And then, you know, you bought records from them that you also sold for money. That's really not the point. The point isn't that I can make back my money on these extra items. It was that I wanted this 6/7 inches, and I didn't get it, and that's what I paid for. And, you know, I also didn't get, you know, I mean, maybe my bonus prize was the temporary tattoos. I don't know. Did anyone else join this and get ripped off? I know that I've talked to other people on the internet that have. There's like a Pushead fans group on Facebook, and some of us have commiserated about being ripped off by Pushead. The worst thing is that he's put out records since that I don't get emails, or not emails at the time, there were letters from him at all. The other thing that's annoying is, if we're talking about annoying things that Pushead did, there was a Septic Death CD called Crossed Out Twice that had their discography. And so I had that. And then Prank Records was going to reissue their discography on double vinyl and I think on CD. And so since that version on Bacteria Sour was collectible, I sold it. It was actually, at the time I was running my record store, it was actually solicited to from More Damn Records. Like, hey, this is coming out on this date. And so I sold it, and it never came out. But then, looking at Discogs, it did come out. It's just super duper rare. And it's like $1,000. Did I get an opportunity to buy one of those? Plus said, no. No. And I no longer have my CD. Thanks, Pushead. Thanks for nothing. You were my boyhood hero. I loved all the art that you did. How many times did I sit and draw your stuff as a kid? I still love his drawing style. But man, it just hurts. It just does not feel good. So that is the rise and the fall of Bacteria Sour. I don't know. I don't think they've put out a record recently. But maybe they have. I don't know. I don't think so. There you go. Have a good day.